From the middle of 15th century, the Africans established a slave trade relationship with the European first when the Portuguese expanded over to African countries. Demand for African slaves increased tremendously after trade contact of sugarcane plantation laborers was established between the Old World and the New World, America. Myriads of enslaved Africans, about 12 to 12.8 million, were forcefully moved across the Atlantic Ocean to America and Caribbean islands to labor mainly on the profitable sugarcane plantation. Many died on transit as they were first imprisoned in a factory, subjected to harsh conditions and maltreatment before shipment. This slave trade is practiced in a triangular form. The first is the shipment of manufactured goods like gun, ammunition, alcohol from Europe down to Africa in exchange for African slaves. Second is the shipment of enslaved Africans across the Atlantic Ocean to the New World Americans, while the third is the exportation of finished farm produce like sugarcane, cotton, tobacco back to Europe. By early 16th century, it was recorded that almost 10% of Lisbon are African descendants. The forceful evacuation of enslaved Africans to Europe and America during this period had a great setback on the economy and population of Africa, and has in turn contributed tremendously to the rapid growth and development of Europe and America. The reason behind huge difference in technological and economical growth between Europe and Africa till date. Meanwhile, before the intervention of Europe in the 15th century, the economical richness of Africa may arguably have been ahead of Europe due to the presence of gold in West Africa, Ghana, Mali, Songhai, which may have sparked the interest of the Europeans in Africa in the 13th and 14th century. In addition, the West African Empire of Mali was larger than West Europe and reputed to be one of the richest and most powerful states in the world in the 14th century. Even though there was resistance against slave trade by some African rulers like King Alphonsus of Congo, Central Africa, Queen Njiga of Ndogo, modern Angola, King Agaja of Dahomey, Benin Republic, and the South Africa, they later compromised due to the fear of being captured by their rivals, enemies, if they failed to acquire firearms from the Europeans through slave trade. On the other hand, European slave trade may have been encouraged by African rulers, as they play a direct role in the slave trade, kidnapping their own adults and stealing their own children who are not of their ethnic group for the purpose of selling them to their agents into slavery. The African rulers lack African identity mentality. Rather, they are concerned about protecting only their own ethnic group, which is a great mistake and has cost Africa a lot. Most slave trade was done by 7 major countries: British, Portuguese, American, Danish, Dutch, and French until January 1st, 1808, when slave trade was abolished. The abolishment of slave trade in the 19th century led to collapse of slave demand and consequently a fall in West African empires and an increase in Western influence.